Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Mongooli Show. This week, we're going to take a look at the weblog where we're going to see how we're going to unlock Guardian, the last member, well, potentially last member of the Alpha Flight team, so you can do those spotlight raids. We're also going to take a look at a new Alliance event that's coming out, and where you can find those two pesky gems that are going to give us our much-needed Crimson gear. But before that, we're going to talk about what happened last week in Marvel Strike Force. Right after this, let's get into it. All right, so for the first time since I started doing this, we actually made an entire week without a single blog coming out from Scopely. So the last one here is actually last week's blog, and then we've got this week's blog. There's nothing in between, which is really interesting because that either means the game is performing the way it's supposed to be, or it's failing hard and they're not aware of it. Either way, so one of the things I want to talk to you about is the mess that is going on right now with Arena. All right, now what we have here is a very familiar scene. We've got two Wolverines going at it. They both have the revive, and unfortunately, we can hit the auto button here, and it's just going to play out for the next 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Now, a lot of people have been running into this issue where Wolverine isn't designed to kill Wolverine and make him stay dead. They're just going to keep reviving and coming back, and it's just this ridiculous loop that goes on forever. Now, we talked to the devs about it. They are aware of this problem. They looked into it, and they said it is working as intended. Now, that does not mean this is what they want the game to be right now. All that means is the kits aren't broken. This is what the kit is designed to do. They just didn't really realize that this situation would happen. So they are working on a fix on it. But it's not like, oh, Wolverine's overpowered or he's broken or something like that. I mean, he is both of those things. But the kit is working the way the kit is supposed to. They just didn't foresee this scenario. All right, if you want to avoid that situation, check out this video. It's not live yet, but it will be live by the end of the weekend. So hit that subscribe button so you know when it goes out and you can check it out and get back to the top of your arena meta, because it's really going to matter next week with the Guardian event, which we'll get into. The funny thing is I had to actually throw a match in order to get back to this scenario because I figured a way out of this loophole. All right, well, that was significantly shorter than usual, but there's really nothing to talk about last week. So let's get into this week's video and maybe we can get you out of here a little faster than normal. All right, the first thing we're going to notice is that it mentions Black Knight is coming to the Cosmic Crucible store. Now, this is the hardest of the three options because there's no great way to unlock him from there other than just hoping he shows up in the store and you can buy him with credits. But it's Black Knight being farmable, so I'll absolutely take it. It's a little scary knowing that there's going to be a lot of 7 stars running around, but in my Cosmic Crucible arena, I'm already starting to see 7 stars, so at least I'll be able to catch up to them, so I think it's a good thing. Starbrand is going to be in the raid store and raid orbs, which is also really good because those are incredibly easy to get. I'll probably have him maxed out day 1. And then Cosmic Ghost Rider is replacing Void Knight in the Spotlight raid orb. Now, if you already had Void Knight maxed out, you should have saved up a surplus of these things so you can get your Cosmic Ghost Rider really, really quickly. If you don't have Void Knight saved up or have him unlocked or maxed out, then don't worry, he will still be available in that orb. He'll just be on the pillar, so he's only going to be a % chance you'll get him as opposed to a guaranteed 5 every single orb. Once you get your Cosmic Ghost Rider built up all the way and you don't need any characters in there, again, stockpile that for the next time this happens, whatever character it'll be in 2-3 months from now, and you can get that character incredibly quickly. These are a decent little orb. They're a great way of getting a character, and if you save up for them, they'll be much, much better for you. All right, this one kind of blew me away a little bit. The Players Voice movement is already a year old. I remember when they first started doing this thing. I have no part of it, of course. I just kind of am a bystander watching it, but I can't believe that was a year ago already. So what they're saying here is that starting today and going until next Friday, they're looking for 4 applicants to participate in the program and be on the board. Now, it's worth mentioning that these are not permanent requirements. They are just like limited times you'll be serving on the board. There will be votes as far as who the best candidates are going to be. And I think they're looking for 5 candidates per position. So there's going to be like 20 candidates total, and then we'll get to vote on those. So if you're interested in either applying or voting, make sure you head over to the Players Voice Discord channel. I'll leave a link down in the description below so you can go check that out and make your voice heard, because this is an incredibly powerful movement that has actually gotten a lot of work done. Again, I've had nothing to do with any of it, but I love what they're doing for this game and for the community. All right, Sasquatch is available today, and I don't normally mention these things because, you know, we mentioned it last week that he's coming out. So if you want to buy an offer, you can, or you can use your cores to get this character. Now, this character is only a 45 shard unlock, so he's pretty cheap, and he's going to be the last character that you need to get into the Spotlight raids. So if your Alliance really wants to do those Spotlight raids, you're going to want to get this character as fast as possible, which is why, for me, I'm going to actually spend some cores on this character, which is not something I usually do. I'm not going to go crazy, but if I can get this character unlocked, maybe I get lucky with a drop, then I'm going to be very, very happy with myself on that one. And I'm going to be that much closer to getting in because Guardian is going to be the character that we're unlocking next week. And then I can get into the raids that much faster. And speaking of Guardian, starting on Monday, we've got 2 different events that are going to help you unlock this guy. One of which you're going to be collecting orb fragments from arena rewards like we've done before with Panda pool most recently, or battling in Cosmic Crucible, which you should be doing anyways because that's the best way to play this game. That's going to start on Monday. Also starting on Monday is the Glorious and Free Web event. This is going to be a feeder event to the main one where you're going to want to spend experimental energy, which is the X marks the spot energy, in order to get points so that you can get even further along in the original on guard for the event. What we're looking at here is the chart we're going to be using to unlock Guardian. Now, I know it's very small, but I'll read out everything that's really important to you so you don't have to worry too much about that. You're going to want to battle in Cosmic Crucible, and that's going to be worth 1,250 points every time that you do, to a maximum of 22,500. Now, that is 18 battles, which is exactly what you're going to do if you win every single one. The flip side of that is you could lose all of your Cosmic Crucible battles on day 1 if you want to get the maximum amount of points for this in one day. That'll give you 45 Guardian shards, which is not enough to unlock them, but maybe you bought an offer for 50 or something, and that'll get you pretty much there. I'm not saying this is a great idea. I'm just letting you know that it's an option if you really, really want to get in those spotlight raids as fast as humanly possible. Now, for everybody else who's going to be trying out our Cosmic Crucible, you can also get points from getting the Amcan, which is a weird word, orb fragments, which you're going to get from the arena. We don't know the exact math on that. They didn't give us a chart. We can take a look at the chart we used for the Panda Pool event and kind of take a guess from there, an educated guess, I'd like to think. You're also going to get points from the web milestone, the feeder event, which we'll get into in a second. As far as the actual chart goes, you can see that if you can make it all the way down to the bottom, which we're not going to do, but there are 110 Guardian shards to get. I think 85 of them are reasonable, so we won't worry about that. We'll just talk about the 85. There's also the pickup truck keys and the dog tags totaling 147,000 points towards the month-long event, which is decent, but I'm not entirely sure it's necessary at this point. I think we're going to crush that month-long event regardless. There's also going to be 2.5 million. I'm factoring this in as if we can make it to milestone 15 because I think that's reasonable. If we do, you're going to get 2.5 million gold, 650 L4 training materials, a whole bunch of augmented and superior gear, and even some like T2 level 4 ions, some gold promotional credits, stuff like that. Stuff that's like is good to have, but not really exciting. So what you're really looking for here is the dog tags, the Guardian shards, and honestly, the gold and the training mats are very welcome when you're going to be unlocking so many characters in such a short amount of time. I'll definitely take that 2.5 million gold for free. Well, free, it's your time, but you know what I mean. All right, now, as I said, this chart is not finalized, but this is the one we use for Panda Pool, so we're going to make some assumptions based off of this. Now, I can't really break this math down for you all that way because it really depends on where you are in Cosmic Crucible, but what I can say is at least if you're in the top 500, that's going to be 14,000 points every single, for the course of the week. That's 7 orbs that you can open up. That's pretty good math. If you're higher than that, we'll just add that up and it'll be even better for you. If you're lower than that, again, you'll just have to do the math yourself, but I'm assuming if you're watching this, you're probably pretty engaged. You're probably in the top 500 at very least, right? I hope so. If not, leave a comment down below. I actually don't know what my demographics are all that well. You guys could all be in the top 10,000 and I'd have no idea. Let me know where you are in Arena, just so I have a better baseline going forward. I'll also make this chart available in my Discord if you want to head over there and take a look at it further. For the feeder event, what you're going to want to do is spend 10,000 X marks the spot energy, but it is at a rate of 3 to 1, so you only actually need to spend about 3,300 energy, which is way more doable. If you do that, you're going to get 15,000 of the orb fragments that you're going to use to unlock Guardian. You're going to get about 27,000 of the dog tags for the month-long event, and about 22,000 of the on guard for the milestones. Now, both the on guard for the milestone points and the orb fragments will count towards the main event, so that's going to add up really nicely. So if we go back to the main event really quickly, we're going to see that we're going to get 22,500 points from doing Cosmic Crucible. We're going to get another 15,000 points in the way of orb fragments from the feeder event, as well as 22,000 points from the feeder event milestone points. You add all that together, you're going to get 59,000 points. Now, you're also going to get, again, assuming you're in the top 500, 14,000 orb fragments over there for another 14,000 points, bringing us up to 73,000 points. Again, if you are higher up than level 500, just add that to the total that we're working with here. Me personally, I generally stay in the top 20 or so, sometimes even in the top 10. So I'm going to be doing a little bit better than that, but no shame. You are where you're at and everybody's on their own journey. There's also going to be a free web gift for this one because there always is. So be on the lookout for that. And we'll be able to land probably right around this 14 or 15 milestone. Honestly, there's not a whole lot in the 15th milestone other than just those training modules. So even if you only make it to 14, which is 66,000 points, which we're already past based on that math, that's enough to get you all the Guardian shards and dog tags that you're likely to get, as well as that 2.5 million gold, which is pretty good. This event starts on Monday, so you can check it out then. There's also an event called From Far and Wide starting on Monday. This is an alliance-wide event, and you're going to be wanting to battle in raids, collect allied supply 5 orb fragments, and collecting milestone points from spotlight raid nodes. Now, I can't show you the actual graph that they showed us for some reason, but they told us straight up that we could just make our own graph using the exact same numbers, and I can show you that. So that's what you're looking at on screen. I don't know why I couldn't copy and paste their version of it, but here it is. Now, if we take a look at this chart, you can see that if you do the spotlight raids on normal difficulty, your non-mythic nodes, you're going to get 250 points, Spider Society 500 points, Alpha Flight a whopping 2,000 points, and the final boss 2,000 points. Now, you go up to difficulty 1, that turns into 350 for the non-mythic, 600 for the Spider Society, and 2,100 for the Alpha Flight, which is not a huge bonus. When you consider how many nodes there are that you and your alliance are doing, it's not bad. That extra 100 will add up quite a bit. It's also worth mentioning, don't fight your lane mates for this because it is an alliance-wide event. You don't need to have the highest score. It's cumulative. Everybody's working towards the same end goal here. Difficulty 2, you're going to get 450, 700, and 2,200. So again, the higher you can do, the more difficult you can do, the better off you're going to be. But honestly, maybe if you can't do difficulty 2 right to the end, it might be worth it for your alliance to tone it down a little bit and do difficulty 1 or even normal, just to make sure that you can complete those Alpha Flight wards, because 2,000 points is a whole lot better than 0. But that's between you and your alliance. You guys can figure that part out. You're also going to want to compete in raid battles for 250 points per. So if you've got a full alliance and they're actively cooperating, you should be able to hit that 240,000 point limit very, very easily. That right there is enough to get all 20-something thousand of the dog tags, as well as a bunch of gold orb fragments, Armory 17 stuff, Armory 16 stuff. Nothing super exciting at that point, but once you get a little bit lower, you'll start getting T2 level 5 ions, which are nice. Armory 17 and 18 orbs, which aren't as high value as they used to be, but they're still good to have. And if you can get down really low, you'll get a mega gold orb, as well as some diamond orb fragments and some crimson gear. But that's going to be for the people who get to all the way to the bottom. So you're probably going to need some serious spenders in your alliance in order to get a lot of those Alpha Flight members up to spar, so you can start getting those 2,000 points per node. Other than that, expect to get all the dog tags as long as you're completing in the raid battles significantly. But you need to be spending a little bit, I think, to get down all the way in order to get the really good stuff in this art. And if you and your alliance can do really well, there is a leaderboard associated with this that'll give out diamond Sasquatches, 1, 2, or 3 diamonds for them, as well as mega gold orbs and Armory 19 orb fragments. So this is a really good event. If you can push a little harder than you normally do, this might be the time to do it. Some of these rewards are going to be very good. The quick rumble blitz this week is the Bifrost team. Check that out on Friday and make sure you get all those points as quickly as possible, because Bifrost is one of the raid teams. They're important. Everybody's got them built up. You all have them at 7 stars. This is super easy. Make sure you get your free points. Now, usually the quick rumble is the last thing we talk about, but they've got a couple of things down here at the bottom they want to tell you about. Starting on Monday, June 24th, the Greek 4 raids are going to get a significant increase in T4 ability materials. Now, it shows you here what rank 1 through 6 is going to get in them in the rank of 28. But if I'm perfectly honest, I haven't paid attention to Greek raids in a really long time, so I don't know what they used to be, and they don't tell me. So it's going up to 28 from question mark. Now, it does mention that you're going to have your T4 ability materials are being removed from the new raid season starting on Sunday. So those will be gone. They'll be going just to the Greek raids, so you'll have to be participating in those. But on the plus side, gear orbs in the raid season milestone will be converted to their equivalent value in raid credits. So instead of receiving unneeded purple or orange raid orbs, you can purchase teal uniques and teal epics to epic orbs with your milestone rewards, and a small amount of orange and teal basic catalysts will also be added to make the rewards more appealing. So all those purple and orange gears that you have no use for because all your characters are either at level 1 or level 100, don't worry about them, they're gone. What you're going to be getting instead is the actual ability to purchase the teal stuff, which you might still need on your road to Crimson. Now, if you do not have those characters built up at that point, you're a brand new player and you're like level 67 or something like that, you are still going to have the access to get those things. But if you're a higher level player, you don't have to worry about them anymore. They're not going to be clogging up your inventory. You can clog up your inventory with teal stuff instead. The third week of coming out is upon us, and if you want to find those gemstones so you can get your character shards and more importantly your crimson gear, let's find them right now. All right, so if you're looking for these pesky gems, I can tell you that the Teal Gem is hiding on villain node 66. That's the one with Kitty Pride. You complete that node, it will not show up. Don't look for it in the rewards. Just beat this node, go to the milestone page and make sure that it cleared. It should. You might have to do it twice or maybe 3 times, but you shouldn't have to. But the point is, don't do it until you see it in the rewards. You'll never see it in the rewards. You have to check the milestone page to see if it cleared. And for the second one, we actually had to go to my baby account because it's actually under the all clear banner, and I'd already done all the milestones on my main account. But if you see here, you do the all clear banner and you're going to get that blue milestone or blue gem. Yeah, blue pride stone pretty easily. All you need to do is do all of your daily stuff, which shouldn't be that hard. You might have picked this one up accidentally, but worst case, you've got 3 days to do this. So you should get at some point over the weekend and you can get your crimson gear and character shards. Taking a look at what you're actually going to get, you've got 50 Loki, 50 Sylvie, 50 Mystique. These Pride Orbs are actually pretty good. You get a new costume for Loki. Is that President? Yes, it's President Loki. As well as a couple of these books, which are very important if you want to get your Black Knight up. And a couple of other pieces of red gear, which is nice. Some dark promotional credits, not many, but some. So, I mean, for a free event, this is actually really, really nice. I actually just got my Black Knight up to gear tier 19, so I don't need these for him anymore, but I'm still pretty happy to have them for somebody. It's free stuff. Don't complain about it. This is the 6th weekend of the Mercs Golden Bounty event. There's only 8 of them, so we're almost done. This has been a phenomenal event as far as free gold is concerned, and by the end of this weekend, I should have my special awakened ability for Old Man Logan, as well as I'm sure a bunch of you will as well. This has been an absolute hit. Like, this is an event done right. It promotes the new characters. It makes you want to have them at higher star levels, but even the people who are playing for free or for cheap still feel like they're getting some value out of this. I think this is a home run. I've been saying it since the very beginning. Do more of this, Scopely. This is good. This is a great event. And the free claim this week has 5 North Star character shards in it. Now that's good because North Star is the better character, but it's a little unfortunate because I want to get Guardian as fast as possible, and if I'd gotten 5 shards of him, well, that's, 5% close to having a Guardian. But I can't complain. North Star is the better character long term, so I'll take it. All right, and that's everything you guys need to know about Marvel Strike Force this week. Now, if you enjoyed this video, you made it this far in the video, you probably did, hit that like button so that I know you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment just saying basically anything you want, because engagement really does help the channel, and I'd love to hear from you. And if you want to see more content like this, or the video that I'm going to have about the arena, hit that subscribe button so you know when this stuff goes live so you can stay ahead of the game. We record these live over at twitch.tv/The Mongooli Show, and we go live every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. So head over there and come say hi to me, because it's great to hang out with you guys. Other than that, Commanders, I hope you're safe, I hope you're well, and until next time, good luck to you.